listen to our good friend Victoria Jackson, who was here at Troopathon last year. Yay. You have been such a terrific supporter in your red, white, and blue, and with
Yay,
your
military, our heroes.
And Victoria Jackson, of course, is formerly of Saturday Night Live, but you've been out on the road touring with the Tea Party for the past year or so, and I know that people, when they see you and see you out, they just love you. They just adore everything that you're doing.
Well, I would like to say if anybody donates $1,000, I will do a handstand and say my ode to the military poem. And I'm turning 52 and it's getting very difficult. So if somebody will donate $1,000, I will do my handstand that I first did before she was born on Johnny Carson in 1983. And I think that's worth $1,000. Somebody give $1,000. I'll try to do it.
Okay, you guys, we've got our new media folks over here.
We'll get them on it.
Behind us, and we've got, yes, we've got smartgirl.com, we've got the Twitterer followers, we have Danny, our communications director from Move America Forward. We have Sal Russo, who is the genius behind all of this. The mad genius is what we sometimes refer to him. But we need to get that $1,000 donation, and we need it right away.
And I'd like to say hi to Katie. What's Annie's last name? Durham. Katie Durham. She's been in the Army for a year, and I'm so proud of her. And I want to say hi to Katie. And also my friend Judy's son has been in 9 years in the Air Force.
Oh my goodness. All of these people are contributing. So can you. You can contribute right now by going to Troopathon.org, and we have a lot of, well, people who are cruising around on the website.
They're curious.
They're curious. They're curiosity seekers. But if you don't donate, then we don't get money, and it's less packages that are going to go overseas. Look at this. It's premium roasted coffee here. You cannot go to the 7-Eleven. You can't go to Starbucks. You can't You can't just, you know, pick up a cup of great coffee in Iraq.
There's no Oreo store.
There is
in
no
Iraq.
No Oreo store.
There's no beef jerky.
And if you don't hurry up and donate so that we can get these packages off, I'm going to eat all of these Oreos right now.
It won't be a pretty picture.
It won't. It'll be ugly. And Essie is going to eat up all of the beef jerky, man.
Well, that's a fact. That's just a fact.
I know. And it could get really ugly fighting over the Jelly Bellies. The Jelly Bellies have been a hit item as far as these care packages are concerned.
There's trail mix, there's Gatorade, there's lip balm, there's eye drops. I mean, this is really, really valuable stuff to these men and women overseas. And you don't even have to do anything.
I didn't bring my uke this time.
I know you didn't.
But I am going to try.
Your singing.
Well, I'll try to think of a good song.
Oh, like what, maybe?
What's a good Army song?
Well,
mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible sword. Is this a Marine song? No. Okay.
No. Nick Popovich is saying no.
No, frankly, he's saying no.
Oh.
Our veterans are saying
But it was still great.
But we like it.
Well, I did tap dance last year, and I'm not going to do that this year because I saw it on the internet.
And you weren't pleased with your performance?
I'll
Is that
probably
it?
never work again.
No.
But I will do a handstand for $1,000.
For $1,000. Folks, you've heard it. You know, you've heard Victoria Jackson tell us that she will do a handstand right here in our studio at the Richard M. Nixon Library in Yorba Linda, California, where we are broadcasting from. She will handstand for Oreos. Or better yet, for our troops.
$1,000 for our troops.
Okay, all right, guys, have we gotten any $1,000 donations yet? We're still waiting.
Okay.
We're still waiting. But in the meantime, I know that you do have very, very strong feelings about
What I've been doing lately is, for our country, is writing a column for WorldNet Daily. And it's
Joseph Farah, my old friend.
Yeah, and it's self-educating because I have to learn it before I write about it, and I watch her a lot. Oh. Self-educate.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Where did you learn all about saving the country from?
Self-education as well. I didn't study politics. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't work on the Hill. I just took a vested interest because this is stuff that matters. My daily life is governed by taxes, government, regulation, stuff that we really need to know about and watch. And so I took it upon myself in my 20s to really learn about this stuff.
What was the thing that sparked you to start doing that?
I went to a debate in college and I watched two people arguing about, it was about affirmative action. And I found myself agreeing with the conservative point of view. And I said, if that's conservatism, I want to know more about it. So I read up on Hayek and de Tocqueville. And I mean, I just became sort of a student. And then, of course, 9/11 happened just a few years later. And I was living in Manhattan. And
were you raised liberal or conservative?
I was raised apolitical, and I didn't know that my parents were actually conservatives until I told them, I think I'm a Republican, I'm sorry, and they were like, so are we. It was like we had just met, yeah.
Okay, well listen to this. I was on a plane today, my 17-year-old, I said, how can I get you to read the Federalist Papers? Because Glenn Beck just had them come out in easier language.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I can't bribe you with money because Daddy buys you everything. And she goes, a pierced belly button.
Well.
Wow.
I said, I don't believe in that, but if you'll read this book, I will get you that. She read it in 5 hours.
Just as the founding fathers would have wanted.
A pierced belly button. I have to tell you, that's a funny story because Mark Levin, who is our good friend, the talk show host, who donated, by the way, $10,000 today. Thank you very much, Mark. He has a daughter who's kind of on the goth-looking side. I mean, she's got piercings, body piercings, and I think it's a tattoo or two. But she has done her homework, like your daughter, I'm sure.
Well,
whatever it takes, right?
It took 5 hours. She read it, boom.
And what did she think?
Aubrey, where are you? Let's ask her. What did you think of reading the Federalist Papers today on the plane? What do you think?
I liked it.
What did you
She
like?
liked it.
She liked it.
What did you like about it?
Everything. It was easy to read.
All right. It isn't that complicated, and actually,
Well,
this is stuff that anyone can understand.
Every chapter, she'd stop and explain it to me because she said she'll
great.
forget it, and so she would stop and explain it to me.
That's great.
Amazing.
I want to know, since we're getting down to the wire, I want to know how close are we? What's going on, Debbie Lee?
We are getting close. We're close and we're inching up, but still not where we need to be. Robert and Joan stepped in Lincoln, California, and gave 200. Andrew in California, 200. Rosemary in Rhode Island, 200. Meredith in New Jersey, 150. Carol in Ohio, 200. Brian in Sherman Oaks, California, 200. Steve in Winter Garden, Florida, 200. James in Woodbury, Minnesota, 50. Merrill in Lakeland, Tennessee, 25. Nancy in Los Angeles, 25. Tim in Houston, Texas, 50, and Thomas in Arvada, Colorado, 200, for a grand total of $432,784. But we've got to keep going. I've got a challenge out for anybody in this last hour who donates $200 or more. I will see that they get one of Mark's challenge coins. It has a picture of Mark when he was in patrol on Ramadi on one side, and the other side has the SEAL logo and the verse John 15:13. So now let's toss it over to Andrew.
All right, Andrew Breitbart, who is joining us. Oh, it looks like Victoria Jackson has wandered over to the king of the new media social order over here.
Yeah. Hello there, Victoria.
Hey, you've been working out.
That's right.
I can tell you.
I haven't. Oh, thank you. I'll do sit-ups for the troops. 1 year ago today, or whenever, 1 year ago, at the last Troopathon, Victoria was here, and I was hosting the Dennis Miller show the next day, and I invited her to come on the show, but she lives out in the boondocks, or lived out in the boondocks, so I invited her to stay at my house, and I wanted you to hear the story of what transpired at the Breitbart household that evening.
See, he gave me permission.
It's okay.
Kind of private, but, well, basically, I was very tickled because he said I could be like his sidekick on the Dennis Miller. How many minutes do we have?
No, enough. But here's the thing. I mean, don't you think that you've earned the right, having been on Saturday Night Live for years with Dennis Miller, to be the sidekick when I'm filling in?
Yes.
And you're very funny, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, you are. And that's all that matters to me. If a person doesn't have that quality, I don't even pay attention to them.
Awesome. Well, he's my hero, so I was like all Twitter pated and everything, and so he's like, spend the night at my house, and I'm like, okay. He called his wife, and she said that was okay and everything, and so I followed him there, and then when we walked in the front door, his kids greeted me. They were really adorable, and they were holding their hamster named Vanilla,
Good memory.
and did you tell them you called the wiener thing is because of you?
No, let's not get off subject. By the way, Vanilla is still with us.
Okay, so Vanilla the hamster, I'm like, oh, how cute. And then his wife is all beautiful, and she looks like a model, and she has no fat on her, and she's brunette, and she's all cool, and she's like hanging out in the kitchen, and I was like, wow. And his house is like gorgeous, it's like modern, and his backyard is like the tombstones of the soldiers, all in the white rose. And he said every morning he wakes up and he's like, thank you for dying so I can have freedom and live here. And it's like the whole thing's overwhelming me, like I've got to write a book about this. And so then I go, they said, you're going to sleep in my son's room. Well, he said in Samson's room, and I thought that was his dog, because I thought, a lot of people name their dog Samson, but it was his son. And so, which is a good name for a boy. Yeah. And it's biblical. And so they take me in Samson's room, his bunk beds, and he's going to sleep in another room with his sister or something. And so then his wife had laid out little chocolates and magazines and a sweet note on the pillow. I was like, and then I said, Andrew, then I went in the living room and I said, tell your wife, you just told me you thought of the name of your book that day.
I did, that's true.
Happened to be the day.
Righteous Indignation.
Yeah, that he thought of the title. And I love titles. And I said, did you tell your wife the title? And he's like, oh no. He goes, honey, Righteous Indignation, with the right and the nation, And she was like, and I thought that was so cool, because like they're like happily married, and they're like one, and so like she doesn't have to say anything. It's like, yes, like he could tell. She's like, yeah. And so I'm like, oh, they have such a cute marriage and everything. So then I had to get up at 5 to be on the radio with him, and it was like 12:30 at night. I'm like, I better sleep, so I have to be sharp to keep up with Andrew Breitbart on the radio. So I try to go to sleep, and I hear the 405 traffic, and it starts to die down, and I look at the clock and it's 1 a.m. I'm like, okay, I'll have 4 hours. Okay, just calm down. And it's really dark. And he had said, what should I do to wake you up in the morning? And I said, I'm a very light sleeper. As soon as I hear feet in the hallway, I hear everything, because I'm a mom. Because when you're a mom, you're always seeing, are they breathing? And are they alive? So you hear everything. So I'm laying in there, I'm right on the verge, just going into deep sleep, and all of a sudden I hear, I told you this is not appropriate.
Keep going.
Except they're married. And so I was like, so the first thing was like, what's that? And then I'm like, and then it was like coming from over my head, and then.
That's where my bedroom is.
Yeah, which I didn't have a tour, but I thought it was up there. And so then I was like, it was like it lasted an eternity. And then I had like butterflies in my stomach, and I'm like, this is way too personal for me. I hate staying in people's homes. I always hated it. I never do it. And so finally, it stops. I go to sleep. In the morning, I hear steps. I'm awake. So we go to the radio station. We go on the radio. I go, do you mind if I tell the story? And he's like, no, you can say anything. I don't care. Say anything about me, which is what I love about him. He doesn't edit anything. So we're on the air, and then I tell the story, and then at the end of the story, he goes, it was the hamster, and he goes to a commercial.
That was Vanilla.
It was the hamster. I have a dirty mind. It was the hamster.
Victoria Jackson and
Back to
Andrew
Melanie
Breitbart.
and SE.
It was the hamster.
Go on the road together.
I think they've been on the road together. I want to remind everybody that our contributions, anything that you want to contribute to Move America Forward's Troopathon, is tax deductible.
And the hour is almost up, which, I mean, it doesn't mean you can't keep giving. You can keep giving. You can give later tonight. You can give tomorrow. You can give all year. But please, we're trying to reach a huge number today because we really want to impress people.
All right,
Let's face it.
what was the last number that we were at? $481,000?
That sounds about
roughly
right.
about
Something
that.
around there.
Okay, we've got a lot of challenges out there. We've got a lot of people who should be willing to pay $5,000 to see Victoria Jackson do a handstand. We should, you know, we've got some harebrained schemes by our hairy friend, the man with a full mane of hair, Andrew Breitbart. But mostly, we just want to appeal to you and to your generosity and your support and your patriotism.
Well, and let's check in
for
with
troops.
let's check in with the tote board.
Okay.
What's going on?
With
Where are
Debbie
we at?
Lee. Debbie, all right, what are we doing now?
We have got some more numbers. Jocelyn in McLean, Virginia, 200. Karen in Phoenix, Arizona, $50. Terry from Cupertino, California, 200. Alice in San Diego, 200. Chris in Tucson, Arizona, 75. Francis in South San Francisco, California, 200. Mark in Melbourne Beach, Florida, $1,800. Thank you, Mark.
Did you just say $1,800?
$1,800. And
Wow.
just for the record, his name is Mark, spelled M-A-R-C, just like my Mark, so
Wow.
thank you. Anthony Roslin in Roslyn Heights, New York, $1,000. Thank you, Anthony, for a total now at $441,813. Let's go get them. And Mel, we go back to you.
All
Wow.
right, Debbie Lee, thank you very much. Gold Star Mom, who's been joining us for this broadcast, and for 3 previous ones, S.E. Cup
Wow.
of GBTV, and a author, best-selling author and columnist. We're all here. We have got Nick Popovich, who is our tank commander, who pulled down.
He's giving us hoorahs every time we announce big numbers. I love it. There we go.
There we go. He is the one who pulled down with his tank the Saddam Hussein statue
that's right.
in Baghdad. We have had hundreds and thousands of people from across the country who have already donated, but we have got to appeal to those of you who have not, who are thinking about doing it, but have not yet done it, S.E.
Yeah, I mean, the clock is ticking.
We only have this much time left for our broadcast.
Yeah.
But we are asking you to please make a contribution. It's tax deductible. These care packages go overseas. You can be assured that you will get the finest, our troops will be getting the finest quality care package that is available, put together with the loving volunteer hands of all of us at Move America Forward. And so we need you to do it right now, darn it.
And you get to put a personal stamp on it. I mean, you get to send a message of your choice, say whatever you want, something you've always wanted to say to the troops. You can do that. It's a great opportunity.
I'm sorry, Essie, I just have to jump in here. Literally jump in here. I'm jumping right in here because a $1,000 contribution just came in, Victoria, to see you do a handstand.
Thank you. Then you'll see it.
All right. This is crazy. I can't believe it. Do we have insurance for this, Victoria?
No.
No.
I don't have insurance.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yes, we have insurance. If someone else gives another 1,000, I'll say my poem to the troops while I'm upside down.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but I'm gonna give it a
first
shot.
we got to do the handstand.
Okay.
Do you want to do it with a microphone in your
I'm
hand?
gonna put it there for my poem. So send in money because I'm gonna do the poem now for the troops.
Okay.
It's Ode to the Military by Victoria Jackson.
Oh my gosh. Holy smokes.
Hold on.
Wow.
Thank you for being
Once
so
again, Essie,
unselfish.
I remain
Fight for
speechless.
freedom for me. I admire your courage and bravery. I think of you often, and every time I see a flag, I ask God to protect you, and then I brag. We've got the best military in the world!
Wow.
That's for the
of the best performers in the world. Are you all right, by the way?
It's getting harder.
I know. We're not getting younger,
52 years old.
but.
Totally worth it for
Missy,
$1,000 donation.
How old are you? How old are you?
Oh, why? A lady never reveals her age.
I bet she can't do it. That's all I gotta say.
That's all she's got to say. we are almost out of time, folks, but we do have one more guest who's